Hey y'all, welcome to the Honesty Circle, the safe space for heart to heart conversations rooted in faith, discussing mental health, navigating adulthood, and all the things in between. It's your host, Sierra Elise, and I hope you're taking care of not only your mental and spiritual, but your emotional and physical health so you can be your best self this week. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Honesty Circle. Yes, welcome back. It is me, your host, Sierra Elise, and you guys, it has been so long since I've been on the mic. So much has changed. Obviously, as you can see, we are not on the brown couch anymore. Yes, I still have my brown couch, but we have a new set. And we'll dive into that a little bit later. But I don't know. I'm so excited to be back. I have missed it. I know I wanted to get back to it, but really wanted to be back in God's timing. That's also what I'll talk about a little bit in the episode as well. But I just really wanted to take my time, um, not rush, and do it when it felt right. And so much has happened in my life since the last time. I'm trying to think, when was the last episode? I don't remember. I think it was like February or something like that. But obviously, birthday that happened in February. March. What happened in March? What happened in March? March was still we were what's the word? I feel like even after when I stopped the podcast in February, it wasn't a fight for my life until May. I'm not gonna lie. Because life was just going so fast. I had so much to do. Not only were things happening around me, but things were happening internally, like emotionally, dealing with different things. I feel like my character was also like transforming, like who I was as a person was transforming. So in that, um, like imagine like going through so much in life that your circumstances are like not stopping. It's like a hamster wheel, but then also like you're changing. So it's like I'm getting better at like being on this hamster wheel, but at the same time, like what's happening? Um, because it came with a good bit of pain, tears, all the things as well. So, um, like if you follow me on Instagram, like literally, I was saying in March, like, or not March, it was May. No, wait, April. It was like April showers bring May flowers. Cause baby, I cried so much in April. Okay, I think I cried probably almost like every single day. Um, just like it was a hard month. It was a hard month emotionally. Like really just having to have hard conversations, having to navigate, um, transitioning. Also, my job around that time is super busy, so it was a lot. Um, but I graduated in May. Thank the Lord. I'm so glad to be done with school. People kept asking me what was like my doctorate degree, because if you know, my dad's um, has his doctorate degree. My mom is working hers, and also my oldest sister, or not oldest, my second older sister, is working on hers as well, soon to be done. So I would probably be like the third doctor, but I just feel like that's enough. Um, Now, if the Lord says so, yeah. But like, I mean, I'm really good off this school thing. I'm not gonna lie, really good off of it. Um, but so many other good things. Like I know I talk about kind of like I was crying all the time, blah blah blah. But like through that, all of that, so much, like like so much has happened since then. I feel as if like I mean, because I talked about my breakup towards the end of like the beginning of 2024, and it's been obviously over a year from that. But I felt like once I healed from that breakup, I was like, okay, like life is fine now, like whatever. JK, JK, I thought I was gonna be done crying after that. No, absolutely not. But I just feel like I am right now, although like things are still basically the same. Like I still work at the same job. I still live in the same apartment. Like a lot is the same, but also I feel like I'm a better version of myself, and so I feel like I'm able to handle the same environments with a different mindset, which is kind of similar to like how I'm approaching the Honest Circle now. Um, it's really the same thing. Like it's the same like heart to heart conversations, like where I talk about like growing in adulthood, talk about growing with God, talk about, mental health, like all of those things. But I just feel like before I was trying to be so like, I learned this, like I've been through and I overcame. And I felt like it was in a way of like showing a very put together version of myself. And yes, I was very authentic, but I think instead of talking about things as they were happening, I was kind of just like reflecting on things after the fact. And I feel like with the seasons now, or with episode now, God's wanting me to be more, no, talk about things as you're going through them. So like, yes, I'm about to reflect on some things that have happened since, but the rest of the, like what I'm talking about in the episode is like real time. Like this is not something, oh, I lived this like a year ago. No, no, no. Or like a month ago, like, or a few weeks. No, like this week. This is the past few weeks. And from figuring out I want to do the Honest Circle back again, between that and now, which is basically about a little over a month, I would say. But yeah, so let's dive deeper into kind of what's been happening, like think kind of what's been taking up my time, I would say. So I feel like a lot of it is serving at my church. So I serve way more there. And in that, I've made such amazing friends. Like, genuinely, like, I prayed for community outside of my work friends. I love my work friends now. Don't get me wrong. But I just feel like that's just one element of it. Like, and I was just like, I just feel like I also want friends at church. Like, you know? And so I have just this past, like, I would say since May, I would say since the top of the year, honestly, though, like, I just really have been building such great relationships and friendships with people at my church. And y'all know I'm a PK, so like I was very hesitant to obviously like I wanted church community because that's what I'm used to, but I also am just like, I mean, like I'm not really trying to be family for real because I have my church family like at my parents' church. But and I've my mom calls it my adult tribe, and I feel like that's what it really is. It's people who really feel like we're going through the similar things, and we're able to like reflect on it together, kind of share, what's happening, but also like serve together. So like whether we sing together, whether it's college ministry, whether it's just someone, that's just a smiling face and you just see them around, whatever. But like, I'm just really, really happy that I, decided to make that my church home. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, so, okay, now I hit on the points that I want to talk about. So let's dive into the episode. So the episode is talking about being scared. Okay. And you're probably like, Sierra, you've had this podcast since you were a senior in college. And you're correct. I have. But I think because I am talking about things more real time, that's so scary. And so like I actually was like on the plane for work when I was like thinking like, okay, like I guess I gotta figure out if I'm gonna do this thing again, if I'm gonna do this podcast thing, like, what I'm gonna talk about. And I just kind of started writing some things, some topics down. And the first one I wrote, which I put first episode, was what are you scared of? And I had wrote that in August. So I actually, dang, it's been 2 months. Oh my gosh. I thought that was been one. No, because that was in August. Yeah, that was, well, towards the end of August. That was the end of August, early September. And then even still then I was like not working on the episode. I literally was like, okay, what are you scared of? Okay, cool. Like, I'm not really scared. Obviously I'm deciding to do it, so I'm not scared. Like and even recording this episode, I had put this on my calendar to record. This is the last possible day I probably could have recorded it, because I told myself I was not going to keep, like there's times where I used to like record on a Sunday and post episode on a Monday. I will not be doing that anymore, just because for my mental health, I shouldn't do that. But to be on the schedule or be ahead and not kind of doing the last minute thing. This is the last possible day to do it. It's the 12th. And it's because on the 13th, I want the episode to be ready and recorded and ready to do the things. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because, like I said, I thought I wasn't scared. And even I wrote this episode out like, I was driving and I was just kind of thinking about, okay, God, like, what am I scared of? Like I said, that's like the topic, but like, okay, clearly the topic for a reason, but I just didn't really understand, like, what am I actually scared of? And then also it's like, what am I going to do about it? And I think like in it all, it's just more of like, number one, I have to do it scared. That's what I'm doing right now. And like I said, like I've had this podcast for so long, and it's not necessarily I'm scared of podcasting, but it's just more so like what could come out my mouth that I don't want to share, truthfully. And so the first thing I realized was I was scared of the opinions from other people. And I say that in connection to meeting a lot of new people at my church and just in life in general. As I've, since I've stopped the podcast, I've gotten connected with more people, and a lot of them do not know that I have a podcast, number one. And number two, I think that when you get introduced to my podcast, that means you see this episode. It means you're also going to see past episodes. There's past episodes that talk about things that I really don't want people to know that I know now, or it just kind of gives this like unfiltered like access that's like now they know things about me that like I didn't tell them, right? Like I don't really like that, which like, they could have found the episodes before now, but now it's just more so like there is no more like hiding it, I guess you could say. Like I said, not that I was hiding it, like it was on my Instagram, like it's on my bio and it's never moved from there. I thought about taking it down so many times, but I was just like, why would you take it down if like you're gonna get back doing it? So I don't know. I just like I like to be able to hide the fact that I had a podcast, but also I like to be able to hide different parts that I don't want people to know. And that connects to the next part of I'm scared of being seen unfinished. In the past like week, I would say past week, I really realized that I have like this perfectionism thing along myself, and I posted on my story, but like I think it was like way deeper than just like the podcast, because I even think about how I've been doing the dumps like once a month on my story. I mean on Instagram, and the thing about it is like I didn't realize at the time that it also was God like making me have to put myself out there in a non like orchestrated or what's the word? Not orchestrated, but it's like put together type of way. Curated is the word. So like, I mean, most times on Instagram, like, or in the past, I would like, okay, I have an event or I have something where I look cute. So I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I take these pictures with this pose. It's very curated. Make sure I find a fire caption to go with it. Like, if I gotta add a music or whatever, like it's very curated. And with the dumps, it's just more so like record your life and show your life as you like. Yes, it's like for the past month, but like it's still just super unfiltered. And yes, it's curated, because if you ever, which y'all probably don't know this, but like, or don't pay attention to this, but like I typically do like a pattern of like what the type of vibe is. So like it's like, okay, maybe I'll do a selfie, then I'll do like a video, then I'll do like a landscape or like an experience I had, and then it'll like keep that kind of same number like thing. So yes, while I say it's not curated, it is curated for the putting it together that way, but the actual element of like the picture is not. So yeah, and I think once I realized that, I'm like, okay, wait, like I really like to be put together. And I also realized that in the past that was hindering me from actually making depth in relationships that weren't already existent. Because if I'm only going to show them a very curated version of myself or very put together version of myself, then they were never going to know the real me and actually connect on a deeper way. I will say the downfall of this new setup is the fact that Zeke cannot sit up here with me and be the episode, but he is laying down over here. So if you hear him, that is what that is. And yeah, so I just like to be very put together, as y'all know. And this season of my life has been very much refinement. And it's requiring me to relearn what I thought I knew about myself. It is like, really pruning out like not good qualities, like pride, ego, lack of humility in general. And I didn't want people to see that, obviously. Like, why would I want people to see like, oh girl, you're very prideful. Oh, you're very arrogant. Like there are times where I'm like, I compare myself and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm better than them. And I'm so glad that that's not me anymore. But like, why would I want to like share what that's going on in real time when I can just share the after effect of like, oh, I'm so humble, and like I'm like laughing, but like seriously, like I really didn't want people to see me unfinished. And I know right now, where I am in life, I'm not close to where I know God is taking me towards. But I also know that this also is what he wants me to do. So I'm scared of being seen unfinished. Another thing, I feel like I have personas, okay? I have personalities. I have, not personalities, not multiple, but you get what I'm saying. I had a Sierra Elise, the podcast host persona that I wanted to keep intact. And with this new kind of more unfiltered, more vulnerable, more real time, I was like, I can't control the narrative. Like I can't control like if I want to make a vibe for the season, right? Like if I want to have like a series of episodes or whatever, like for a guest of like what they like any of those things, like it's just I can't control it. And I don't like not having control. As we know, we talked about that in that podcast episode. If you haven't watched it, I mean you can, but if you haven't, I mean if you don't, it's really okay. But I like to be in control. Liked past tense. We're still being delivered from that one. But I do like control, and so it's like when I can't control the narrative, then it's like, okay, no, I'm scared of like what the narrative will be if I'm not the one controlling it. I also was scared to add more to my plate. I told you guys that after I graduated, I was like, okay, where's my time going? Like I just knew I had all the time in the world after I graduated, and it left away, and I was scared to add more to my plate. Because what I also know is that the last year when I was in school, that was the most anxiety-ridden life I've ever lived. And I don't ever, 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 ever want to feel that much anxiety ever again. Like, ever, ever, ever again. And so I was scared to add more to my plate if I feel that I'm already, like, busy now. And, yeah, so that's also what I'm scared of. And so you're probably like, okay, girl, you said talking about all this stuff that you're scared, so why are you doing it? And I said that like I'm doing it scared. Number one, I know that God urged me to share. I know that God, because I literally told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna do this until God says so. And I kept like spending time with God, or like, I also in this time, I did video diaries. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. Video diaries. And y'all, I would be making podcast episodes. They would be like 20 to 30 minutes long. Like sometimes we're like 40 minutes. I have like videos that are an hour of me just talking to myself. Like, girl, get back to your podcast. Like, like, come on. Now those ones are obviously very, very raw. Like I think like those are way too much. I don't think I would ever get like that raw, because I think that's name dropping, and I think I don't want to bash people's character, nor do I want to Like, it's not about other people. This is about me and the Lord. So, like, yeah. But point is, I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to say. And so it's like, share it. And so God just kept urging me to share it. But I also wanted to share it on my terms. And so that doesn't work when you say, okay, God, I'll do it. But then it's like, wait, but I'll do it only on my terms. I kept like pushing it back, gave all the excuses in the world. And I kept asking God, I'm like, okay, I know you want me to share, but like, I'm gonna wait till you tell me. And he said, oh, okay, bet, here, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. Y'all, he orchestrated this so well. I gotta explain how he orchestrated this. So to get me back to podcasting, I had random people saying, do you have a podcast? I really like what you have to share, what you have to say. Like I would enjoy listening to a podcast if you had one. Mind you, this person didn't follow me. These people, it was multiple. These people didn't follow me on social media, did not know me prior to these times of like having conversations. And so I'm like, LOL, God, okay. Hear you. I get it. Maybe we should do a podcast. So the way that God orchestrated me to have this new setup, he was making sure that I had no more excuses, okay? So while people did, ask me if I had podcasts, that clearly wasn't enough because that didn't make me start. But I have got this chair because your girl's low-key a reader. Now, it really only read my Bible or read books that have to do with the Bible. And it's also for a class I'm in. So like, but I read. So like, I'm proud of myself. Young Sierra was not a reader, and she would be shocked if she ever bought a chair because she wanted to read in a comfortable chair. Anyways, I bought the chair because I'm very like, I want to do things in my house where they're assigned to do those things. Like, I don't watch TV. Like, I don't have a TV in my room because I sleep in here. The TV's out there. Like, my desk used to be in here, but I put it out there because why would I want to do work in my bedroom where I sleep, where I rest? Like, that needs to be out there in the productive area. And so I really like to read in my bed, but I'm like, I don't really like to I want to sit up. And like, yes, you have the pillows, but like, it's just not the same thing. So I bought the chair, and I like then bought, like this little table thing so I could have, stuff to put my pens and stuff on. I've already had this like little setup here and that thing. So I had bought this and I'm like, oh my gosh, literally one day I was sitting in the chair and I'm doing my like devotional time, spending time with God. And I was like praying. I'm like, okay, God, like, I just feel like I want to share, but like, only if you tell me to, Lord, only if you tell me to. And he says, girl, look where you're sitting. And it was crazy because that same day is when I happened to go to the Notion where I had put all the information of like what I wanted this whole chair situation setup thing to be. And God's like, you literally like didn't have the money at the time to create a space for you to do the podcast the way that you wanted to. Now you have this space. You've had people, like the signs from the people tell you to do the podcast, like all of that, girl. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Like, how dare I, like you orchestrated this space for me to be able to spend time with you, all of the things when I didn't even realize, like, I didn't get this ever thinking I was going to have this as a podcast area, like at all. That was never what was on my mind. And so God was like, okay, what's your excuse now? And I'm like, oh, I'm out of them. Oh my goodness. Like, okay. And so that's how we got back to it. Another thing too is in this season of my life, I refuse to prioritize my comfort over God's will. And I'm constantly reminded from when Jesus died on the cross and how, even when he said, like, I don't know if when people talk about the crucifixion and how like gruesome it is, they always talk about like to breathe, like he had to like lift up because like his arms like hang down, right? Or hung, like his body hung lower because his arms were stretched out, right? And I'm reminded by the fact that when he says, Lord, forgive them, they know not what they do, right? He says this while on the cross, while thinking about like his purpose. His purpose was to die and be resurrected. So he thought about God, number one. He thought about his father, thought about purpose that came from that, and then thought about the love for other people. And like, how dare I, if I'm trying to become more like Jesus, how dare I like not, like I'm not on the cross trying to lift up my rib, like lift myself up to breathe every day, right? Like, so if he can give up his comfort in that moment to ask our Father who art in heaven to forgive me because we know not what they do. Well, not just me, but the people that were crucifying him. Then you know what? God, I can do what you're asking me to do too. Cause it's it might be hard. It might be difficult. It might cause some tears. It might be painful, right? But it's nothing compared to being crucified. And that I do know. Yeah, like I actually was like talking to God last night, and I was telling him how something I was experiencing was torture. And he reminded me that like even at church today, which is crazy because it was so timely. But like talk about the Hebrew boys being in the fire, and it was like what was torture was actually like like the fire that I see or I feel as torture is actually refining me. And that's not easy. It's not at all. But at the end of the day, I made the decision. I've made up my mind that it's God's way or the highway, and I'm choose God's way every time. So that is why I'm doing this. And that is why we are in a new space. That is why I have a new mindset, I would say, even kind of going about doing the Honesty Circle this time. And I wouldn't call it a rebrand because like I'm not like, yes, there's some like new elements, like new intro and things like that. Part of that is just I did learn a good bit of Adobe skills. Shout out to the Lord. And I was like, okay, activate the skills. And he gave me like the idea for the new cover art. So like all of that was literally him. I had no intention of rebranding. So it's not necessarily a rebrand. I would just say a refreshed focus. And so we're doing it, and we're doing it scared. And I'm grateful that you are here on this journey with me, to bring you in on this journey of my life as I am here and reflect and unpack, and maybe I'll cry. But I'm grateful that you're here for the journey. And if you're new here, I always end every episode just thanking people, but I also typically give a C's 2 cents. And that is where I just kind of share advice typically, or like share something I think, a tip or whatever. C's 2 cents now is going to be kind of similar, but not in like a way that it's a lesson. It's just more so like an encouragement piece. And just like, that's my 2 cents. So whatever you are holding back on doing and you're scared of, I say do it scared. And you're not alone, because I'm scared doing this right now. And yes, I record the whole episode, and yes, I'm still kind of scared because I have to go back and edit it and make sure the audio is right and add the intro and the outro and all the things, right? But we're doing it. We're doing it scared. So you can take my advice or not. That's just my 2 cents. So yeah, I really thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that you have a great rest of your day whenever you're listening to this. And I hope that you go conquer the rest of your week. Bye, y'all.